Every so often, you see a problem like this one show up. Why? I always see it pop up on Twitter, and then instead of just, ignoring it, I click on the thread and hate myself for it. Because my god, people do not understand anything. Now, I want to help you all out here, so when you see this type of problem, what should you do? So essentially, if you ever get asked this type of question, the correct answer is to spit in their face. Quite frankly, that is the easiest way to deal with this situation. It's clear that no one understands order of operations or anything, so just don't make things ambiguous, I guess. I mean, there isn't technically ambiguity, it's just that people don't know what they're doing, but yeah, it's fine. But what if you want instead the mathematically correct answer? Alright, well, just, I don't know, PEMDAS, BODMAS, whichever one you learned. There you go. 9. It's pretty simple, huh? And in case, like, there, see division sign, it's exactly the same. Because people don't know what they're doing. It's just 9, there you go. So what do other people say? Okay, so here's one common mistake. In the US, we learn PEMDAS, right? And I guess people didn't pay enough attention or something, so they assume multiplication goes first. It doesn't. It's just whichever one of these occurs first. So you divide first. So I mean, yeah, that's it. You gotta hit the distributive property if there are more than one little juice packets inside the parentheses. No. See, the distributive property is a property of fields. I think. I haven't actually taken the course yet. Do you know what a field is? So here, just following this thread, something about variables. You don't necessarily need variables to use it. The property is the same. That is true. You do not need variables to use the distributive property. But you can't just start by distributing when there's division first. PEMDAS, the multiplication and division, it's whatever comes first. It's not multiplication first. So basically, people in like the UK who learn BODMAS, that's what you learn, right? I hope it is. They could make a mistake with the order of operations, but they would end up with the right answer since they would divide first. But yeah, I mean, you never need to use the distributive property if you just have numbers. Can you? Sure. Just divide first. So yeah, if you want to use the distributive property, you do this. What else do people say? People saying anything other than 1 is scary. My god. I almost agree. If you change that number, you have to do order of operations. That's 1. Good one. Okay, to be fair, this I don't really get. Let me do it myself. 6 divided by 2. 1 plus 2. Oh, who would have thought? It says 9. I don't know if the camera picks it up. I don't care. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it is. I would love to just say, I'm a math major. Trust that I'm right. But I've seen people use that reasoning and be wrong. So I'm not, I know better than to do that. But I am a math major. No, okay. Not a good one, by the way. I'm just, if you follow PEMDAS, multiplication would be next. See, again, that's not how it works. You were so close. Correct. Except the multiplication is due to the parentheses which come first. No. So parentheses just means the stuff inside. Nothing else. That's it. That is literally it. Like, the thing is, right, when you see, because people like pretending that they know math, right? When you do multiplication, right, you don't need a multiplication sign, ever. This is how you do multiplication. There's no parentheses involved. Like, at a certain point in math, you never ever use multiplication signs, ever. In fact, you don't even use division signs, you just do fractions and parentheses like next to each other. Pretty much the only time you use multiplication signs is when you're doing like the scientific notation or whatever the hell it's called. So yeah, the replies are scaring me, bro, Sam. People think it just goes no, it doesn't. I mean, this might be true, this whole thing needs to be taught. That might be true. Maybe you just weren't paying attention. But to be fair, like a lot of... Because you learned this in elementary school, right? A lot of elementary school teachers don't like math, which is why a lot of people end up doing poorly in math. Or is intentionally vague. Yeah, I mean, this is why you just spit in their face. Like, this is why. If you interpret the problem like this, then that's understandable to get one, because it is ambiguous. But if the reason you're saying this is because you think multiplication goes first, or because you think this is like a parentheses step, then you're wrong, like just completely. Okay, well, yeah, so basically, post, I think I said, just, it got, yeah. They were just baiting and saying that the answer is 7. Swan, do the math yourself. How about you do it? Spreading negativity in a lot of communities. Yeah. It's a bit hostile. Yeah, I mean, this, again, this is the ambiguity. But some people aren't getting it wrong from the ambiguity, they're just, you know, wrong. Problem with the first two is a distributive property that the distribution is done incorrectly. Yep, there you go. See? See? I don't know why I'm belittling people. But yeah, that's the thing. I respect that. To be honest, I respect this. The 2 and 2 cancel out, so you get. Just realized I've been showing the wrong problem. You know, I just googled it. But this is the problem. I'll fix it in this problem. As a high school student, bitch, I'm a math major in my 3rd year in uni. I outrank you. It's 9. Fuck off. Slim for a sec, you know, great. It'd be like really awkward if this division sign means something else, but I mean, it doesn't. So. Solve this for fun, you know? Let's see, can I do it in my head? Can you find positive whole values for, There's a way of doing this, I don't care. Yeah, no, it can't be fucked. 88.6 does not, isn't this, yes it is. It is, I hate to break it to you, but it really is. Like, you don't use multiplication signs in math, like, ever. Like, here, let me just show you what we're dealing with here. What I'm dealing with. Like here, this is a topic I learned sort of recently. Notice how there's no multiplication signs anymore. These are being multiplied. That's just how it works. You can do the same thing with just numbers, but obviously when you have two numbers next to each other, like, you know, if you have a 5 and a 5 next to each other that are being multiplied, it might look like a 55 instead. which is why you would use parentheses to distinguish them. And for some reason, you learn multiplication signs instead. I mean, I get why. I mean, it looks cooler, I guess. I don't know. Thing is, the times will then get confused with something called a cross product, which is not multiplication. But yeah, good. Glad. Like, yeah, basically, you know, you will never see a multiplication sign ever again when you get to higher level math, because it doesn't mean anything. Probably should have chosen another book that doesn't have lots of notation to make my point easier to see, but just trust me. Like, you will never ever see a multiplication sign. Now these are variables, but again, as I explained, same thing with numbers. Parentheses are used just to make it clear that it's not the number, you know, 23 in this case, or you know what I mean. And this is merely a convention. I mean, I guess that's technically kind of true. I mean, like, you don't have to do the parentheses first, as the distributive property shows. But that's for the sake of, like, the math that most people in the world do, it's not convention, it's just what you have to do. Yeah, like this is further the point, just there's some ambiguity. I don't know what the hell this guy's doing. Like, you know, this would be, you know, 6a over b plus 6. Like, I don't quite think you understand the distributive property well. The way I was taught, I'd get 1. How did you get taught? Okay, cool, you just accepted help. That's it. Need more people like that. Wouldn't you multiply the outside 2 with the numbers in the parentheses? You know what? I respect this. This should be right. I'm just gonna... It's literally PEMDAS. Again, see, people don't know what things mean. 6 divided by 2a equals 1, not 3a. I mean, you'd be wrong regardless, but... the fuck? Oh, okay, I see what you... So like, this is what I mean, right? This is, like, fair enough. Obviously, it's wrong, but, like, it's fair. So, okay, division sign means the same thing as the line that separates a numerator and a denominator in a fraction. Sure. That's what it does. I mean, yeah. I'm sorry, you didn't learn this in high school. Should have taught you spelling, kid. It just writes itself, doesn't it? See, you just added parentheses. You didn't know this. Okay, cool. 1917. See, I didn't know this because clearly it's wrong. What the fuck? Yeah, it does kind of explain the point that, like, you know, math, it is technically just convention, I guess, but, you know, don't use that as an excuse to be dumb. Stop. Please stop. It's not what that means. It doesn't say it. Yeah? It does. It quite literally does. Again, multiplication signs don't exist. Yeah, again, spit in your face. Okay, at this point it's getting really repetitive, but basically, so yeah, we delved into the world of people not knowing how math works. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, I hope you learned, or just anything. So yeah, that's about it. Bye.